people. Hi, Deb. For those of you just coming on, start thinking of some questions that you may have for myself. Joelle's here. You've also got, I think Chrissy's on here. You got a couple trainers on here too. So we'll all, chip in here and help out. But we are going to record. So just if you just hopped on and you don't want to be on video, just put yourself off video. Otherwise, we're recording it. It'll be posted to both members page, especially if you have to hop off. We picked a couple topics for you guys. One of them is the thermal effect on food, TEF. Probably have never even heard it, but it's just interesting. So I think Joelle will focus on that. We're going to talk about also some tips to help you with tracking in mind, not mind body. That's my thing. It is MyFitnessPal. So MyFitnessPal, how to track your food there. And then we'll talk about calories in versus calories out. So those will be the three main topics. And then we'll open it up for questions. So ask those questions right now in the chat. Again, there's a lot of people still hopping on. So just to let you know, we are recording this. If you don't want your face to be on it, are we recording it, Joelle? Oh, yeah.
I'm recording. What I'm going to do, I might just do, no, because then it's going to be who's talking. Maybe we'll do that. So that they'll just see who's talking. And then,
well, if you don't want to be on it, just click off of it. I mean, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
All right. So thermal effect on food. What is that? Go for it, Joelle.
So basically, when you ingest any sort of a food, whether it be any of the macros, protein, carbs, fat, etc., your body has to digest it, digest it in some way, okay? So there are different types of foods that we take in, we know that. But each type of food has a breakdown in which it takes calories to burn that food just to digest it. So if you look at, say a piece of chicken, it's going to take a lot more calories and energy for our body to digest that piece of chicken than it would another piece of food. So you kind of look into carbs, fat, protein. You notice if you look at macros, if you've ever tracked, you'll see that usually protein and carbs are going to be your higher number, and typically fat, unless you're on a ketogenic diet, is going to be very, very on the lower scale, right? It depends on the person, it depends on who you are. So if you think about that, not only, if you don't know this, not only is every single gram of protein and carbs 4 calories. So every time you eat 1 single gram of a protein or a carb, you're taking in 4 calories. Usually things are way more than 1 gram. So like, let's say our afterburn is 25 grams of protein. So multiply that by 4. And that's where you're going to get that calories, right? So I think it's like 25 or 23 times 4. That's 92 calories right there just from the protein. Usually things come with protein mainly, and then they'll have a little bit of fat and a little bit of carb associated with it. So if you think about, not only are you ingesting it, but you have to digest it. So 10% of the calories we consume are burned just from the digestion process. So not only are fats higher in calories to take in, but they also are the least, they take the least amount of calories to digest. So they're the easiest digested, meaning you're not burning off as much when you digest them as you are with protein and carbs. And they're higher calories, they're a higher calorie food. So if you look at protein, it takes 100 calories to just digest protein, or it takes 100 calories of protein, takes 27 calories just to digest. You look at 100 calories of carbs, takes 23 calories just for, without us doing anything, we just ate it, now we got to digest it, 23 calories just to burn it. And then you look at fat, 100 calories taken in, it takes 3 calories burned to digest it. That's a significant amount from those carbs and those proteins, right? So you take 27 to digest and 23 from both those protein and carbs, that's like almost 20 calories difference. And over time, every single time you take in 100 calories, it adds up. So thinking about what your body's doing as you ingest food is a huge deal. Not only that, but also the grams, the calories per gram that you're taking in. So if you look at just rice, say just white rice, that's pretty much only carbohydrates. So if you took 1 gram of that rice, you're taking in 4 calories. If you look at an avocado, you're taking in 1 gram of that, you're taking in 9. So it's a little bit over double. All right. So that's kind of explaining a little bit where the calories come from with your macros. When you see proteins at this level, carbs are at this level, fats down there. There are people that have worked with ketogenic diets where they're way higher in fat and their carbs are super, super low for maybe preference, but maybe also a nutritional need for a different type of um, like limitation or medical reason. So basically what this thermogenic effect of food is doing is it's using calories as energy to burn off the food that we take in without even having any exercise or anything like that, just to digest it. So that's something you have to think about when you're taking it in. It's like, if I'm higher in fat, not only is it higher calories, but it takes less energy to digest and it's easier to store. So our body will just store. We have unlimited places to store fat. Krista, anything to add?
Yeah, it's simple, but it's not. It's a lot to think about because you probably have never thought of it before. And I think that we obviously read and learn a lot about it. So it's a little bit easier for us to understand. But the basic thing is when you eat food, your body has to expend energy / calories, energy, calories. Okay. So to digest and absorb the nutrients from the food you ate. So there's higher food sources that you can use, like meat, fish, eggs, dairy, seeds, all those protein is what you want to, it's just going to take more energy for your body to digest. So you'll burn a little bit more. Does that make sense? It's a lot to take in, but we're just trying to break it down as simple as possible because we feel like it's important for you guys to understand why protein is so important and why we have it as like the king of the macros. And I love what you said. If you just take, for example, like you eat 2,000 calories a day, you take that by 10%, you are burning 200 to digest. 200 of those calories are just you digesting the 2,000 calories. That's a simple formula. So it's just good to know that. I mean, you guys, it's your body. It's the food you're putting in. You got to understand how your body works. We don't want to keep it a secret. So hopefully this helps break it down just a little bit, something you probably never even thought of. So Joelle, you did a great job of explaining it. But that's basically it.
Another basic concept too, and this kind of goes along with when we're determining, where are you right now before we start giving you numbers and before we really break down what you're eating. It's another very simple concept. If you take in more calories, if you consume more calories than you expend, you're going to be in a surplus, correct? Meaning you're going to hold on to weight, meaning you're going to gain weight. So people who are looking to gain weight or gain mass or gain whatever are going to have their calories be up here, right? Say you want to maintain, calories expended will be equal to the calories taken in, meaning I'm eating calories just so that I can stay level. My BMR, which is basal metabolic rate, is this many, meaning this is what I burn just breathing and living and digesting. And then equal that to the amount of calories that I take in so that I know that I'm going to not go anywhere. I'm going to keep maintaining this body. In order to lose, you need to be in a calorie deficit somewhere. Okay. So if that means that you're taking in less calories than you're expending. So when you say, I'm logging in MyFitnessPal, it's telling me that I have to eat this many calories to make up for the workout that I just did. Should I eat those? Krista, you have an answer for that?
Well, you have to have the right calories and the right macros set up for yourself. First of all, what MyFitnessPal puts in for you, sorry, I'm choking. What MyFitnessPal puts in for you is not always necessarily the right thing. That's why you need to have those focus meetings to make sure you have your personalized calories in your macros. Simple answer, and there's a lot more details to it, but surplus is going to help you gain weight, gain muscle. There's a lot of different things that go into a surplus. It doesn't mean you're going to become fat. It just means, there's a lot of people that go in surplus to build muscle, maintain, recomp the body, stay exactly where, well, you don't necessarily stay exactly where you are, but you're maintaining your body weight, kind of doing a little bit of recomp with the body, and then being under your calories is going to get you to a deficit. So when you have those calories in MyFitnessPal, the calories that we gave you, the calories that we calculated for you, you want to hit those. That includes your deficit, okay? So you want to hit those calories before anything. The two things, before anything, always focus on those calories. That should be number one for you. Number two should always be the focus on protein, especially this week. We really want you to educate you on protein and the importance of it and what it's doing for you. We put it out there a million times, many different ways. But those are like the main things. If you have no idea how to track in MyFitnessPal, let's back this up. We recommend MyFitnessPal for a couple reasons. It's really eye-opening for you to track your food and realize how little you eat, how much you eat, and what's creating your calories. A lot of it goes into it. You could be super high in carbs. It could be super high in fat. You could be super low in protein. There's so many different variables. You could be eating, this was me, like 2,500 calories when I thought I was like at 1,700. And it's like, holy moly. Every time I went to go track, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought here I was in a deficit, and I wasn't. I was in like an extreme surplus during the early stages of COVID. And it was rough. So it's important for you to know those numbers. It's not something I recommend doing as a lifelong thing. It's a great way to check in with yourself. So that's why we ask you to do it for like 2 to 3 days, work together with your trainer, zone in on the nutrition, track another little bit, see how you feel. And it probably like a couple months at the most. Some people are a couple weeks. And then you've got to kind of learn. You should be able to then have the knowledge and understanding to learn how to do this without tracking. And then I always go back and track a little bit more, because sometimes I feel like, let me just check in with myself real quick. And sometimes you're on point and sometimes you're off. So that it's super important to track. And that's why we push that so much. It's also really great for us to know what's going on, so you can follow your trainers or we follow you. It's nice to know what's going on and where we can like tweak things and change things up with your macros to help you hit your goals, whatever they may be. Most of our community, or most of the time, you find people that want to lose fat and all of that. Some people want to maintain, and some people want to build muscle. So it depends on what your goals are, and everyone has a personalized path. So I hope that gives you a better understanding of why tracking is so important. And again, detailed tracking is super important too. So if I have that little mini Snickers or the Kato ice cream pint or the Cool Ranch Doritos or pint, I don't mess around. You go big or you go home. Or whatever it is that I'm going to have, a glass of wine or whatever, put it in there. Even the best trackers, someone who's been doing it for years, don't always put everything in there. So it's kind of like an estimate. I don't know anyone that perfectly tracks, but if you eat it, put it in there. Joelle, myself, Leslie, Deb, Chrissy, Pete, we're not going to be like, oh my God, she ate like 12 Snicker bars. Can you believe it? Like, no, absolutely not. We're going to try to find a way that you can enjoy those Snickers if they're super important to you and you love them. I would never want to take that away. We're just going to try to make it work within your lifestyle, really, because it needs to be like a realistic lifestyle. There's no dieting. We'll go into that on another focus meeting, but it's just a lifestyle fix for you. So that kind of sums up the MyFitnessPal. And then we can go through how to track if you've never done that. That could really be like a one-on-one thing. My camera is awful, but we could also post a little like screenshot of how to track on MyFitnessPal too.
What I was going to say was two things. A lot of times too with that snacking or the sweet tooth or the, oh my gosh, late at night I need this or this. One thing that I would recommend is really, really great is to put in, if you know you're going to want to snack later that night, or you know you're going out to dinner, or you know you're going to want this or that, put it in first at the beginning of the day or even the night before. And then you know mentally, I know I get that Snickers bar, so I don't need 8 of them. I can set my goals for the rest of the day, eat what I need to eat, hit my numbers while still having that, and you're going to cheat less. Another thing that I hear a lot is, okay, you guys gave me these calories. I'm going to eat less than that so I lose weight even faster. No. The numbers we gave you are already set for your goals, meaning if you are already trying to gain, you're not going to eat 100 more calories because you want to gain faster. Other way around. If you wanted to lose faster, you're not going to eat less, because guess what happens when you eat less? You end up just not putting it in your phone and eating more because you're already in that deficit. So you cheat more and you put it in, you put it aside and they're not going to know. It's okay if we don't know, but your body knows that you're eating it.
If you ate it, you ate it.
You ate
Even
it.
though you didn't put it in MyFitnessPal, you
You ate it.
literally still ate it.
You literally ate it. And if it goes in your mouth, it goes in your phone. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're tracking, if it goes in your mouth, I'm not going to lie to you. I have put like a spoonful of like fluff in my mouth before and spit it right out. And I was like, dang, do I got to count this now? I mean, if it goes in your mouth, eat it, but it goes in your phone too. And I think there is like also an obsession part of it, which is why I think it's important that Krista mentioned that whole like lifestyle thing. It's not, you don't have to track for your whole life. You may find that you start eating the same thing every day and you start to understand that, okay, I know this many, 3 egg whites and 1 egg is this much fat, this much protein, and then these 2 pieces of bread are 90 calories and this much carbs and this much fiber. Okay, fiber is a whole nother topic, by the way. Yeah. But it's being loose with it. It's understanding why you have these numbers, hitting them, listening to what we're telling you, because I mean, I can speak for myself and I think I can speak for Krista. We put a lot of time in our education around this. We put a lot of effort in understanding what the heck our body is doing with what we put in it and understanding what's going to be best for you guys. No, we're not like doctors, but we know this stuff. So we give you a number, try it out, trust us for at least a week, and then let us know.
And then just to add to that, if tracking isn't your thing, because I work with a lot of members who they don't necessarily want to track just for personal reasons. It sets them into a different mental state. And I get that 100%. So there are other paths that we can take to make this work for you if you absolutely hate it, or it's just not something you're ready to get into, or you need to stay away from it for whatever your reason is. There's other things that we can do to help you through this. And the last thing that I think helped me a lot was track the night before. So think about how many times you're on your phone looking at like other people's lives on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if you guys are on Snapchat. I'm too old for that, but there's like TikTok, never too old for the TikTok. But there's a lot of different platforms where we're on social media constantly watching other people do things. Take 10 minutes of your night when you're laying in bed and track your food for the day before. So you already have it set up. Now, if protein is something that you're struggling with, I can relate to that. And I put my protein in as a priority first, then I build around that. So example, I have it all tracked on what I track on. I put like all of my protein in first, and then I kind of build around my meals like that. And then I know for a snack, okay, I can have that protein shake. So try doing it the night before, and that way you're not thinking and stressing about like constantly, oh, you just ate something cool, I got to put that in my phone. That can be obnoxious. I would hate doing it that way. I did it that way. It makes you not want to track at all. So having it ready the night before, putting it all in, and kind of sticking to it. Okay. So that's the whole consistency thing, is stay with what we're telling you. Stay with those calories consistently, stay with that protein consistently, stay with tracking on your phone consistently. It becomes like a natural habit. And it's great to do it at night, like I said, because then during the day, you don't even have to think about it. You've got your meals mapped out. It's like a little meal prep for you, all ready to go. And you're going to hit those macros. And I think after day 1 of hitting my macros, I already start to feel better, the less bloat. So it's good to do that.
Question?
Tips. Yeah.
Okay. So first question.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like a prisoner to the tracking. How can I balance that so I don't get sick of it?
I hope I just answered that. I mean, you shouldn't be a prisoner to it. If it's something you hate doing, don't do it. Let's find another path for you. But I do highly recommend, we always say, and I always say, I don't know what other trainers say, but 2 to 3 days, give me 2 to 3 days. So I can see where you're at. I can see what you're eating, and how many calories you're getting, what your activity level is and stuff like that. So it's really helpful for us to know what's going on with you. It's super easy for me to be like, yeah, I ate fish I got all my protein, everything's perfect. I can paint like a really pretty picture for my trainer to see that I eat perfectly. In reality, it's not like that. So tracking it and keeping yourself accountable is helpful for us too. You never want to be a prisoner to anything. It becomes not fun. So, that's a good way to do it, is give us like 2 to 3 days and then track for a week and see how you feel. And we'll go from there.
Sometimes I hit my macros with lower calories. Is that the deficit that we need to lose? So it depends on what you talk about with your trainer as your goals. So if you are meeting with them and you say, these are my goals, your macros are going to be set up for those goals. So you don't need to cut out any other calories. They're already going to be set down in that lower calorie bracket. And that's what I was saying with, if you lower them, you're stuffed and you physically can't get in any more food, then yeah, we need to reevaluate. However, by looking at the past 3 days, that's why we have you come in with like track the next couple days, and when we meet, we'll look at it. If you're stuffed, you can't physically fit any more food, and then maybe your macros are a little bit too high, and then we will help adjust. But just cutting out calories because you want to eat less is gonna may or may not end up in you ending up like cheating somewhere or doing something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was my question. So like, not necessarily that I'm trying to cut calories, but sometimes I'll hit all those macros. I'll hit my protein, hit my fat, hit my carbs, everything's dead on. But then I put my calorie total and my calories were lower than what is programmed in. So that I don't understand. I don't understand how I'm lower in the calories, even though I'm hitting all those macros.
Are your workouts included in your
No.
track? Are you using macro stacks
Yeah.
still? Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes just that, I mean, it's because in macro stacks, and same thing probably with MyFitnessPal, that sometimes you probably don't notice this, but it gives you like there's like a variance between like 5 grams under or 5 grams above, and you still hit those green thumbs. So that's why your calories aren't always going to be dead on unless you really, and I can show you with macro stacks, you really dive into the detail of what's making up. So there's a little bit, when you hit those green thumbs, this is a macro stacks conversation, but when you hit those green thumbs, there's always like, if you're supposed to get 43 grams of fat, it could actually still give you that green thumb going a certain amount over or going a certain amount under. So you just have to look at the detail of it. But I always say, for the most part, people should really focus on calories first, and then you trickle down to the macros.
Okay.
Next question is, how do you track burn workouts in MyFitnessPal? I guess this is probably going along the lines of, should I be eating for my workout? If you have an Apple Watch or Fitbit, your smartwatch will link up with MyFitnessPal a lot of times, and it will say at the top of MyFitnessPal when you go to diary, it'll say, I don't know if you can see this, but it says like what my calories are at the top right here, and then whatever that is, food that I've eaten for the day, don't look at that. And then exercise is 0. I did work out, but I've unlinked it because for my goals, I don't want my exercise taken out because then it'll add in extra calories that I can eat, and I don't want that. However, depending on your goals, it may be a little bit different. Like if, say my boyfriend, he's trying to gain mass and he's trying to build up muscle, he may have to eat a little bit more protein to build up because those are his goals. I don't know if you can do the tracking or the linking without an Apple Watch. I don't know how you would. You could manually go in, and there is an exercise tab on your diary where you can hit that and click how many calories you worked out, but you're not going to know if you don't have a tracker, like a watch. There's like cheap, like Fitbits are great if you wanted like a workout tracker. But did that answer your question?
Yeah, so basically just don't put your workouts into MyFitnessPal. If we gave you, and again, don't go off of what MyFitnessPal tells you when you log it in. Get those numbers from your trainer. It takes like 5 seconds for us to figure out where you should be. It's important to stay with that. And also the tracker is great to know an average of where you're at, but that is not exactly what you're burning, by the way, also. So it's an average of, it's close to what you're burning, but it's not going to be exact.
How do you figure out how many calories you need to lose maximum weight?
How do you figure out how many calories you need to lose for maximum weight? You book a focus meeting with your trainer, and we have to go over that in detail with you. So
there has to be like a plan of, we need to know what you're doing currently, exercise, calorie intake, lifestyle, all of that. So I agree. My response would be the same.
it just needs to be more personalized. I mean, the bottom line, like we said, is being in a deficit if you want to lose weight. That's literally it. Calorie deficit. That's how you're going to lose weight. However, making that happen for you, that's like not a personal comment. It's personalized for you. So just set that focus meeting up.
And everybody's different. There's different limitations, so there's a broad range of things health-wise that could complicate hormones, genes, all that. So again, focus meeting. Sarah, oh,
I like Krista's idea of even tracking protein, if tracking, yeah. So I have worked with plenty of members who tracking is just not great for them, but just focusing on that one problem area, and maybe that's protein, then just sticking with the protein and tracking that. And just the carbs and the fats, you just got to be careful of those things and maybe implement that later down the road. But again, we're going to go over those macros. They're super important. However, you just have to make sure that you're staying as clean and earning those carbs and healthy fats. So yeah.
is there certain combinations of macros that would be beneficial, let's say after or before a workout, early morning versus evening? Should we try to get our carbs/fat in early versus night? So like nutrient timing is what this is talking about. So what she's asking is there a better time for me to do my protein? Like, do I need to have a protein shake immediately after my workout? Or do I need to eat all my carbs before 7 p.m. if my dinner is not going to be till 7 p.m.? Personally, I think spread out throughout your day, evenly in each meal, is ideal. However, not everybody makes that happen. Sometimes you just can't make that happen. There's no rule of you can only eat your protein right after your workout or have more protein here or there. Sometimes naturally our breakfast tends to be maybe a little higher in protein and carbs. If you have eggs every day, maybe it's got a little bit of fat in there. I would say no. Krista?
It's an interesting question, and I've read quite a bit of studies, and the answer the simple answer is no. I mean, is it more beneficial to eat and it also depends on how you feel. Some people fast before they work out and feel great. There's fasted workouts. It's really, what do you want to eat that for breakfast? Okay, eat it for breakfast. Okay, just do you want to eat that after the workout? Cool, eat it after the workout. Do you need to have 30 grams of protein right after your workout? No. Is it beneficial? Sure. Can you get more? Yes. There's amino acids. They're going to do other things for the body, and not just zone in right on the muscles. Amino acids do a lot of things. I mean, you can kind of play around with it and see how you feel. Some people like to have a piece of toast before they work out with some almond butter on it, and it gives them a little bit of energy. Great. After they work out, they like to have that afterburn and get it done on their way home. That way they know they refueled their muscles with protein and it feels great. Good. So it depends on, again, it's a personal preference. There's some studies that say within 45 minutes of your workout, eat those 30 grams of protein. And there's some studies that say right after you work out, get those carbs. It's just like, do you want to? Okay, then go do it. It's not going to really make or break anything at this point. We are not like in this strict situation where we're trying to be bodybuilders, and maybe you are. But for the most part, our community is not. So like being super strict and focused in on that, we're trying to get you into other things right now and just learning about your body and learning what's best for you. We can zone in on that stuff down the line if we need to, but short answer, no. I just like with intermittent fasting and stuff like that. Like if I want to eat breakfast and I want it to be eggs and toast, then I'm going to have eggs and toast. Like it's not going to make me look any different if I have it at 8 a.m. or at 10 a.m., So yeah.
I also think this is really about just, again, like Krista said, learning about your bodies, understanding like what the heck is, like, why do I need this much protein? And then learning about it. But this is a 3-week challenge for a reason, because it doesn't happen overnight. There is no diet. There is no magic fat burner pill. There is no pill period that's going to just make this happen in a week, done, gone, whatever. It's a lifestyle. It's, you guys work out probably for more reasons than the physical. And maybe it is just the physical aspect of it. Maybe it's the fact that you're emotional and as soon as you're done with the workout, you feel better. Maybe it's that you're frustrated and the only thing that's going to keep you busy where you don't think about that is your workout. Maybe it's that all around you just want to be a healthier human. None of that happens like overnight. Even just to switch your mood around, it takes about 45 minutes. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head that you're not going to have like an overnight switch. However, every single day doing a little bit more is always going to help. If you do a little bit better every day, if that means that one day you're tracking and then Sunday, God, like I was around my family, I had a beer, I didn't put it in, like the macro police are not coming after you. Like it's fine. However, it's more important to get back on track that day or that next day than it is to sit there and punish yourself and be angry at yourself that you had that little indulgent Snickers bar or that beer. Because if you sit there and you harp on yourself and you punish yourself for it and you don't get back on track, you're getting just further away at that point. So be patient, understand it, learn everything we're throwing at you, just take it in, take notes, save these, whatever. But these are like really good questions. I think a lot of it is just understanding that there's no like simple like fix. And you don't need to be, you don't need a fix. You just need to work on learning and getting better toward that will bring you closer to your goals.
Yeah. And I think we've said a lot and we're giving you guys a lot of information because we want to, but start making, like, you're here for a reason. You obviously signed in to learn something and try to stick with it. You guys are ready to go. Like, feel like if you logged into this, you like want to take action and start making some changes and learn about this stuff. So now go do it. Like, we can tell you, we can guide you and give you like a great idea of where to go and what's going to help you hit your goals and feel better. But you guys are the ones that need to do it. So throw the excuses away and start really focusing on yourself. Put yourself as a priority. Your nutrition is so important. People say 80-20. I like to throw it. Let's kick it up a little bit and go 90-10. Like, it is so important that you guys take care of yourselves. What you're putting in, like, you eat like crap, you're going to feel like crap. So start putting in some whole foods, add different things to your, like, variety is key. I also can't stand when people are like chicken, rice, broccoli, the end, 40 grams of protein every meal, raw. No, like, get some variety in there. Learn to love food, have fun with it, enjoy your bodies. We have this one tiny little life that we live. You know, we don't need 6-pack abs to feel good. No one's, like I've said this before, like, literally, who sees us? We're in Rochester, New York. Like, we wear clothes constantly. Just feel good about yourself. Learn to love yourself and set yourself up as a priority. Do it.
I wanted to say also, if you guys want to, this week is about protein. So I'm going to repeat it one more time. I probably repeat it 4 more times through the week. To understand how much protein you have, the goal that we wanted you guys to focus on was take your body weight. If you want to pull out your calculator right now, take your body weight and you're going to multiply that by 0.6, 0.7, or 0.8 and hit that equal sign. And that's how many grams you should be taking in of protein. If it's
stay with it.
And if it's on the higher end, like, it's like, whoa, there's no way. Start off at the 0.6. Next week, try to get a little bit higher. And then that last week, try to get even higher. If it's like overwhelmingly high, that anywhere in that, the 0.6, the 0.7, or the 0.8 is going to be beneficial for you. If you're still feeling like, okay, this is like too much, then again, book a program. But so we can personalize it. However, that's what we wanted you to focus on. 0.6, 0.7, or 0.8 times your body weight in pounds is how many grams you should have of protein. Okay.
And just stay consistent with that number. Like, if it puts you at 76 or 95 or whatever it is, stay with it. Don't give up. Concentrate on that number. If it's 95, hit 95 every day. Give or take a few, but hit 95 every day like it's your job. And you're going to start to feel really good. And it's going to come easier to hit that protein. So stick with it. If you have any questions, hopefully you're all following us on Instagram. We put a lot of good posts out there with like what are some great protein sources. You can also always reach out to us. So yeah, that 0.6 to 0.8, just be consistent. I'm begging you. Don't fluctuate and give up and say bleh. Just stay with it the whole time for like a solid week to 2 weeks, and then see how you feel from there, and then make the adjustments if you need to.
Yeah, it helps with more than just muscle recovery. It's helping with injuries, hair, hormones, nails. We all want nice hair and nails. I mean, come on. But also the fact that we've completely changed where we're working out and we're on pavement now, protein is going to be, it was important before. It's even bumped up a tiny bit to replenish those muscles, the joints, all of that. Okay? You guys, thank you for coming.
Last thing to say, try to use whole foods first before with protein.
Yeah.
Supplementing is great if you need to fill in the gaps. But try really hard, and I supplement every single day with 2 different supplements. So I'm awful that I'm saying this, but I use supplements because I can't hit it.
You know, I had a focus meeting about that though, about what supplements I use, and it was a really good question. Tell us which at least the big one that you use every day that you just drink out of.
I use collagen peptides, and that's because I struggle big time with hitting my protein. So I'll throw a scoop or two into my coffee, or you can do it into anything, protein shake, whatever. Collagen peptides, it's just straight up protein. But there's so many whole food sources that you can go to grab first. If you feel like you're that gap, you've got like 10 grams of protein, you just want to really make sure you hit that macro, then throw a scoop in there. Use Afterburn, that's 23 grams. That's like perfect for like a midday snack or after your workouts. That's when you supplement. Otherwise, go whole foods. I love Afterburn. I don't use it as much because I'm a vegetarian, but Afterburn is great because it's got like 6 ingredients and you can read them. You understand what they are. Cold pressed whey. So if you haven't ever tried it, ask for a sample and try it out. We got chocolate and vanilla. I know they're coming out with a plant-based one too for us vegetarian vegan. So that's exciting. But use that as supplementation if you need to. Otherwise, stick with whole foods as much as possible. It'll make you feel really good. The end.
All right, guys, if you have any other questions, when I post this, you can comment, you can throw them at us, you can send us private messages. It's always going to be anonymous. We'll never share who asked what unless you put it under everyone in here, then sorry, too late for that. But if you have personal questions, very, very like, something that you feel kind of vulnerable around, send us a message. Like that's quite literally why we're here. Like we are here for you. So don't be shy. Ask us. You got 6 trainers to choose from. And thank you for showing up. We love it. We love to see you.
Bye, guys. Have a great day. Can't wait to see you guys starting to track. I know it's going to happen as soon as this call's over. You guys are going to be all in MyFitnessPal tracking. Find us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Know,
we'll comment our names. And then
yeah,
you can friend us so we can chat.
Then we get to stalk your diaries.
Yeah.
It'll be fun for you guys.
Yay. All right. Bye,
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
See ya.